A big responsibility on the shoulders of Tom Holmes as far as Huddersfield are concerned. Warrington in red-hot form after that great display last week against Hull Kingston Rovers. Restart, kick-off taken by Ratchford, and now Chris Hill crashes into the first tackle of the game, met by Matangi.
This will be a tough test, I think, for both sides. Physical, skillful sides that we've got on show, and this Huddersfield side's a different Huddersfield than we've seen over recent years. They're determined, and Simon Wolford, like, can he get his 5th win in 7 games? Like, they are a good side, and I think that the week off, they've been itching to get to this game. For 67 minutes against the Leeds Rhinos, I was really impressed with them. Last 13 minutes let themselves down, so now they've got time to go out there and make amends for that performance.
Surely the most frustrated side in Super League just now after that Luke Gale drop goal denied them in golden point extra time in that thriller at Headingley. As Jermaine McGilvray takes the ball on the full.
And you'll bet there's been a lot of talk about the back three for Huddersfield. Ash Golding, Daniel McIntosh, who scored a hat-trick against Leeds Rhinos. He showed his speed, and that man knows that they do set the tempo. They do get him on the front foot. Look how athletic he is. He rides the tackle. He still manages to make decent meters after contact, McIntosh.
Darnell McIntosh, sensational first career hat-trick. Opened his account last week in vain as Leeds came back from 20 points down to win in the last 13 minutes. And what is that Giants response like? O'Brien. Ball away to Caesar, but
Benny's going to penalise Huddersfield Giants here, as he's carting the ball forward, Matangi. And we're blessed here. We've got 2 number 10s with beautiful footwork, and you can see when he plays that ball, still has a hand on the floor. You could argue that Chris Hill is there or thereabouts, but the referee, Ben Thaler, he's going to penalise Huddersfield Giants, and Warrington get their first possession.
Matangi unable to play the ball correctly, and so Clark will find Toby King now. Ever present at centre throughout this season, Toby King, and Chris Hill immediately in the thick of things in this opening 2 minutes. Just where you would expect, met by O'Brien. That was Austin, short ball, but Ben Murdoch-Masilla now. Stopped by Kenny Edwards. Now Jack Hughes, ever present for Huddersfield in 2015. 5 tries in 32 Giants appearances. He will need no extra motivation for this one as Widdop gets the ball away, floated out to Ben Curry now. There's Widdop once more. Austin goes aerial on the last. It's a high kick as well. First test for Golding, and he comes up with the answer, the Jamaican international.
He's good at the back. He's so calm under pressure. Ashton Golding, really good communicator, sorts his defensive line out in front of him. He focuses on catching that ball, not the man who's got the Warrington jersey on in front of him, which was Darrell Clark.
Wardle carries the ball with some pace there. It's 6 again for Huddersfield. Warrington with an examination coming up. Marmo in there, the former Huddersfield man. Joined Warrington after 17 tries in 25 for the Giants 3 years ago. Hill with the tackle there on McIntosh. English has his head rocked back by Ben Murdoch.
He's hurt there. He's caught one, Matt English. Straight away, the Warrington players have got their hands up. The ball goes over there to Josh Charnley. He took an enormous hit then.
Still
really like Matty English. His size is his strength, and you look at Matangi as well. They're not the biggest. He's really brave. Sometimes he's too brave. Matty English, he runs straight into Ben Murdoch-Masilla.
He's ducked down there, hasn't he, Tez? He's ducked down to brace for impact, and Ben Murdoch-Masilla, tall player, although the shoulder is around about the head area. The angle that Matty English is running at changes at the last second, catches out Ben Murdoch-Masilla, and unfortunately for Matty English, it means, well, the shoulder of Murdoch-Masilla hits him flush.
It could be
in the chops.
It could be in trouble there, Barry. Ben Murdoch-Masilla, like, contact with the head straight away. He's like, he is a player, Ben Murdoch-Masilla. He looks trim. He's shed probably around 8 kilos. and he's here to play, but just have a little look when Matty English gets this ball, step straight into him.
I don't disagree with you.
Contact with the head, I think he's in trouble.
I don't disagree with you. I'm saying that the way that Matty English dips into that means that he's already set Murdoch-Masila. It's unfortunate, but you're right. He'd be lucky to stay on.
Well, the game's a tough game, and Ben Murdoch-Masila, he leads by example, really does set an example to some of his teammates in the middle of the field. And Warrington this year, they will want to be known as a defensive side, and Steve Price has done a decent job with them. You look at the 7 games that they've played, they've only conceded 15 tries. So their attitude, not only to score points, but the other side of the game is where they haven't had it right in recent years, is defence. But I think it's a different sort of attitude, approach to the game, to the season. And they know if they want to win silverware, both of these teams, if they want to win silverware, they've got to get that defence sorted.
Matty English still hasn't moved. All the medical staff giving him the right amount of attention. Oh, there you go. That's good signs, thankfully. The young, brave, tenacious forward. It looks like his lights are back on.
Second match of our double header this Saturday, live on Sky Sports, and 2 more for you tomorrow afternoon. St Helens and Castleford go head-to-head from 4 on Sky Sports Arena, and that's followed by Wigan against Leeds from 6:30. 2 huge games coming for you tomorrow, live on Sky Sports Arena. Saw the face of Steve Price a moment ago. His concern will be for the fate of Ben Murdoch-Masila, and I'm sure concern for Matty English's condition as well. Matty English outstanding in a 45-minute spell against Leeds a fortnight ago. And Ben Murdoch-Masila missed his first game of the season last week against Hull Kingston Rovers. All the medical staff giving Matty English all the time he needs. Luke Robinson alongside Simon Walford up in the box for Huddersfield Giants.
And Huddersfield's bench is an interesting one as well. Ollie Russell, as we know, a half-back. Then they've got Adam Wall, who's a forward. He's not a big forward, but you would expect him to go into the middle. Sam Wood, Sam Hewitt, back rower. Sam Wood is a backstroke forward. So it will really change the way that they're going to play the game now, Huddersfield. There's Wall. I would be amazed if Matty English returns. Amazed. Well, he's in a neck brace there.
Yeah, he won't be back.
You count him out.
Simon Walford can only look on.
I mentioned writing an article for the Sky Sports website about the 18th man, and it's probably in a scenario like this where a player, in this case it's Matty English, will have to leave the field. Now Huddersfield shorn of that player, adding the fact that it's due to a collision that Warrington Wolves and Ben Murdoch-Masila are involved in. Now the team penalises Huddersfield Giants. My suggestion would be, if the doctor rules out Matty English, then bring the 18th man into play.
I did read.
It's not the craziest thing you've ever heard, is it? It's not as crazy as getting rid of Strums.
Well, both sets of players now just warming up there. I say it all the time, when there's a player down, whether he's wearing the same jersey as you or he's not, and you're playing against him, all that matters is his welfare and making sure that he goes off the pitch.
Former England youth captain Matty English, signed from the Stanley Rangers amateur club. England Knights international. And a big loss for Simon Wolford.
Yeah, we obviously we hope he's okay, Matty English. Incidentally, the 18th man for Huddersfield Giants was Oliver Wilson himself, signed from the Bradford Bulls, a front rower, virtually like for like when the two players play in the same side. It's a young-looking front row for the Huddersfield Giants, but they offer similar attitudes, similar attributes. But yeah, we just hope that Matty English is okay.
It'll be a huge loss as well. Let's be honest, you look at Matty English, what do you get from Matty English? Well, he's a player that goes 100 mile an hour. He plays big minutes for his coach, Simon Wolford. So he knows that he could probably pick some half-back on the bench, stroke hooker. He could pick some smaller players who aren't like big middlemen, as everyone seems to call them these days, so back rowers. Whereas you look at what's on Warrington's bench, the likes of Joe Philbin and Aquala, both of those players, I'm not so sure whether there's any players in Super League that have got the impact that those two players bring to the side when they get on the field. They give you so much punch, so much power in the middle of the field, and you lose Matty English, and then all of a sudden they can't cope with that.
Phil Clark watching this in the studio. Phil, the medic's doing everything necessary, and we can only just hope for the condition of Matty English at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. That's our main thought. But if we then talk specifically about the game, I hope the player's fine. To me, it's a red card, and I'm just waiting for that to be said here, really. I mean, it's direct contact to the head. Don't know what the referee judge is going to give in here in a minute, but it can be nothing other than direct contact. There was a game in the NRL. The referee was strong this morning and sent a player off with a biting allegation here. He's had time to review this, and there's no other alternative for me than a red card. Warrington down to 12 men.
Which would be hugely significant with less than 4 minutes gone in this game, and you can see the concern on the face of Ben Murdoch-Masila, who came up with that tackle.
He'll go, Ben. He knows he's in trouble. Absolutely. As soon as he made contact, he thought, oops, I've got that wrong. As soon as then Matt English is staying on the ground, he's thinking, right, that's me done for the night.
At St Helens at the moment, Ben Murdoch-Masila set to join St Helens Grand Final winner Nathan Brown at New Zealand Warriors in 2021.
Warrington losing Ben Murdoch-Masila, Huddersfield Giants, you would imagine now, will really rev up. For the rest of this game, they will go toe-to-toe with Warrington. You lose that man, so numerical advantage is in Huddersfield's favour, but you lose that damaging player in a Warrington jersey. That one, like I said before, that everyone looks up to get them going forward. And what these Huddersfield players will be thinking now when they're standing around, will be thinking, right then, lads, we need to set the record straight. We need to really rev up here and go after Warrington and try and ambush them.
Matty English about to leave the field.
It's so important that the medical staff take the time here. The one thing we're never worried about is how long situations like this take. You can see even the players on the field, all eyes are on Matty English, whether it's Warrington Wolves players or Huddersfield Giants.
Well, fingers crossed he's okay. So he's got a massive future in the game, Matty English. Still a young front rower learning his trade.
Applause from both coaches, and 10 minutes for Ben Murdoch-Masila. So a sending off, a red card for Phil Clark, not so according to Ben Thaler. And Ben Murdoch-Masila will sit those 10 minutes, a relieved man.
Ben, I think he's really lucky to get 10 minutes. 10 minutes for that shot, and like Barry says, that now Huddersfield lost the play for the full duration of this game.
Warrington lost Chris Hill to a red card against Wigan in the opening round and lost that game. How will they respond to that setback? How indeed will Huddersfield react to the loss of their prop forward? Widdop with a tackle. O'Brien. Matangi. Immediately, Huddersfield attack that Warrington line. Quick work from Adam O'Brien. Locked up by Ratchford and Hughes and needed that intervention. Camped just a metre or so away from that Warrington line. Kenny Edwards waits. The ball wide to Caesar. Eludes Tom Holmes, comes back for Golding. He finds Darnell McIntosh, and McIntosh is forced to kick on the last tackle. Lynham is chasing this, but it will bounce harmlessly from a Warrington point of view.
Well, Simon Wolford, knowing that he needs to end these sets better than that. A bit frantic from Huddersfield. You could see the reaction from him. He's not happy with it. Would have been best just kick it into the corner, try and force Warrington out of their own end.
Darrell Clark.
Well, we've played 5 minutes. He hasn't found any fluence in this game, and I know we've had that long injury, but both the sides, when they've had chance to touch the ball, hasn't looked great, hasn't looked pretty.
Charlie played it for Warrington. Here is Jake Marmo now. Lawrence and the Huddersfield tacklers alongside the new man. Warm. It's Hill now. Matangi in defence for Huddersfield. So a couple of tackles gone for the Wolves. Here is Cooper spinning into the tackle there of Wong. Mike Cooper, a cup winner against Huddersfield back in 2009 on only his 35th Warrington appearance. Winner, short ball. No way through though for Ben Curry on that occasion. Locked up by a combination there of Caesar and O'Brien. 6 again for Warrington.
He earns that with a decent run. Ben Curry plays the ball really quick as well.
Just 12 metres away. Widdop. Toby King can offload, gives it to Darrell Clark. Now it's Ratchford, standing last week. Here is Hughes now. And Hughes cuts back against the old club, faced by Golding. Really important tackle from the fullback. Just 5 metres away now. Warrington sensing something here, and Austin is wrapped up initially by Caesar. Those two half-back partners for 4 years or so at Canberra know each other's game inside out. Here is Hill. And Hill just driving on towards that line. Relentless pressure from Warrington now. Widdop ducks under one, taken by O'Brien.
Aidan Caesar, a high shot here. There's some good work on the line, Huddersfield, defending the attacking shape that Warrington have gone. Widdop just spots him. Caesar comes up, closes the play down. Fortunately, cops him high.
I know you mentioned him a couple of minutes ago, but Ashton Golding, I think it was obviously Huddersfield didn't play last week. The previous week, he did over 10 kilometres running around the field. The way he communicates with the people in defence, the way he's involved in a tackle. We saw him make that tackle. He was involved in it, clamped the player, got up, and then sprinted towards his right edge defence. Warrington choosing to just take a shot at goal now. 2 points are on offer. They'll have a little look at it.
Well, without that man, Ash Golding, if they do get the 2 points over there, he saved 6, didn't he, when he brought Jack Hughes down?
It was Jack Hughes, yeah, lovely balance.
Consistent Jack Hughes. Like I said before, I think he's one of the best defensive fullbacks. Look at Jack Hughes when he goes through. Not many would stop him. He hits him with everything, brings him down. He is looking for the offload.
Clamps the ball as well, Tez, doesn't it?
Saved 6 points on that occasion.
Continues his outstanding start to the season. So impressive on his Giants debut against his former club a fortnight ago. Just 8.5 minutes gone. Play stopped for over 10 minutes after that injury to Matty English. And now Stefan Ratchford to give Warrington the lead. 2 points from the boot of Stefan Ratchford, and the Wolves ahead by 2 points to 0.
If I was a Huddersfield player, Barry, I'm not sure whether you would. I'd be quite happy to take those 2 points instead of another couple of back-to-back set to 6, taking energy out of me, defending my line, really starting to try and work us over on the edge and in the middle. So Huddersfield done a decent job. They've had to contend with a few things in this game in the opening 10 minutes, but to concede just 2 points.
And conserve a little bit of energy as well. They're down, obviously. Matty English not able to take the field will mean that bigger men will do longer stints.
Caesar with the restart. Found Marmo. Here is Chris Hill. Tackle comes in from Wall. Finished off by Lawrence. Darrell Clark.
There's not many players rock Chris Hill's head back, and Wall did that. On off the bench. Did a smart thing then. He was offside. He was backpedaling. Didn't give the penalty away. But Darrell Clark, I wanted to see a little bit more from him last week, Darrell Clark. I know Hulkiar threw too many different things at Warrington Wolves in that first 20 minutes that we didn't see much of Darrell Clark. But if there's ever a player built for 6 again, it's Darrell Clark.
The man of steel in 2014, Darrell Clark. An outstanding form for the Wolves. Winner. McGilvray totally lost that. It found Toby King. It's still a last tackle.
Jermaine McGilvray had dropped right back, opened the field up for that kick, and he had to, when the kick went up, he had to run probably 10 or 15 metres to get towards the general vicinity. Warrington ended up catching that ball, but not a bad tactic there from Warrington. Don't kick deep, kick short and make the backfield of Golding, McGilvray and McIntosh come towards it.
McGilvray already with a carry in this sequence, and now Edwards, so elusive. Last time out. O'Brien, Matangi.
They've got some X-factor on the edges, haven't they, Huddersfield Giants? Akumatai over on this right side. Prefer him on the edge with that offload that he's got, and then this fella. Beautiful
what an offload that was. Akumatai. Kenny Edwards, I should say once more.
Is there a swinging arm here from, was it Austin? He comes across, the ball goes out to young Wardle. He looks to get on the outside of his opposite in Mamo, and that's what the penalty's been awarded for.
Lovely stuff. 2 very skillful back rowers, haven't they? Kumatai and Kenny Edwards.
The only Giants forward to play the full 80 a fortnight ago. Outstanding handling on that occasion, and he's picked up where he left off against Warrington here. What can Huddersfield do with this position? Wong. Just 7 metres or so away from that Warrington line. O'Brien. Short ball, and it's Akumatai who's going to get over. Akumatai will stretch out from the short ball. He's not going to give this yet, Ben Thaler. He's got to try on the field, though. Is Akumatai about to make his mark for the first time in terms of tries in Super League in 2020?
Well, Ben, you just set your line and you run as hard as you can, and Akumatai, who has got good footwork, doesn't use his footwork. He just punches through the line. Nice ball.
Does he catch it
from
clean?
Caesar? Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah, that's what they're looking at.
There's not an issue with this for me. Look at this. Powers through, beats Widder, keeps pumping his legs.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to rip the ball from him. He's trying everything, isn't he, to stop him from scoring that. And Akumatai, well, the man who's got a really, really good controlled offload, what he has got is a try for Huddersfield.
It's outstanding work. They were looking to see if the ball had rebounded off Akumatai, maybe hit a Warrington player, but nothing wrong with that. Hard line, uncompromising line, and has enough skill and grip to allow him to keep hold of possession and not allow Gareth Widdop to steal it off him.
Okumatai opens his account then for 2020, and Huddersfield hit the front.
Well, just look at that line. He doesn't need to change. I think when you've got someone like Aidan Caesar, who's a confident player, he attracts defenders. Gareth Widdupp's got to deal with what's in front of him in Aidan Caesar, and the other man, which is obviously the try scorer, Okumatai. And those Huddersfield players, well, they've lost one man in Matty English, but for them, they've got Okumatai who scores the try.
Huddersfield fans, whether they be the coach or those on the sofa, delighted with that contribution there from Okumatai, one of the finest signings as far as the Giants are concerned in the summer era. 8th season at Huddersfield after 4 years in the NRL with the Warriors.
You can just see, can't you, big back rower running at a half-back. Gareth Widdupp. He's not a bad defender, but you have to get it spot on when you're tackling a man of that size. There's Oliver Wilson, 18th man. And there's the unfortunate Matty English, but thank God he's okay, he's up, he's compos mentis.
Great to see. And a complete contrast to what we were watching on the field just a few moments ago. So let's hope that Matty English can continue his recovery. McIntosh caught the kick-off and fed Matangi. O'Brien, Waln now. 13.5 gone. Caesar added the extras with his 20th goal of the season.
He's made a big impact, Adam Waln, since he's come onto the field. Carried the ball really hard and aggressive.
Really good run here from Jermaine McGillvray down the Huddersfield right-hand side. What a big strike weapon he is, the 4-time Great Britain international for the Giants.
Aidan Caesar did his best to fall over that defender then, didn't he? He knew exactly what he was doing. Gareth Widdupp, there you go, accidentally on purpose, gets his side a penalty. Smart or cheating, well, depends which side you're supporting, doesn't it?
Here is Lawrence for the Huddersfield Giants. O'Brien, now Matangi. The Giants hunting back-to-back tries here. O'Brien, Waln, Caesar. Just evaded McGillvray initially, and the wingman came back to pick it up. Still 3 tackles left for the Giants. Cudjoe away for Caesar. O'Brien. It was Oliver Holmes on the bounce, finds McIntosh. McIntosh comes back this way, taken down by Marmo. Austin over the top. So O'Brien once more gives it to Caesar. Waln gets an offload away. Look at the Warrington defence, though, right in the Huddersfield faces. Kenny Edwards, though, spinning. So dangerous with ball in hand. Stopped by Chris Hill. For how long, though, will Warrington stop the Giants? It's a great kick as well, and there's nowhere for Charlie to go. They haven't got the try, but they've got the next best thing.
They are creating some opportunities, aren't they? The movement off the ball, everyone offering each other close to the line. When you've got half-backs, like Aidan Caesar and Tom Holmes, that actually attack the line, it really gets you thinking as a defender.
And that's a really nice option from the young centre, Jay Wardle. He skirts across, moves laterally, moves to the side, just dabs that ball 4 or 5 metres into the in-goal, and then his teammates respect the kick with a good chase.
Drop out, we'll find Cudjoe.
Go short then, Toby King going for it.
McGillvray. Right into the shoulder there of Hughes and Darryl Clark on the back of that. Good run. Waln it is again. Lawrence, short ball, Kenny Edwards. Edwards looking for the line. Stopped by Cooper. Austin done everything he can as O'Brien dives over.
Do you know, I think he's a right to go for that, O'Brien. It's difficult for the referee because the standoff, Blake Austin, he just hits the deck, puts himself in the middle of the play of the ball. The referee can't ignore him. That's a real shame for the Huddersfield Giants there. He's not injured, goes down on the floor. Jake Marmo catches him with that knee. Look, he has a think about it, holds his hand, puts his poorly face on, and then drops to the floor. I'm not sure about that one. He's a great player, Blake Austin. I think he's done a magnificent job to save his side being scored against. That's one each now, isn't it? Aidan Caesar and Blake Austin both bending those rules.
Well, Adam O'Brien spotted that there was a problem with Ben Murdoch-Masila and there was a problem with Austin and goes for it. As you say, unfortunately, Barry, it was called back.
And O'Brien in possession again. Raking pass for Caesar. Golding. Ashton Golding scrapped to the ground by Widder. Toby King in there as well. Warrington line intact in this sequence so far. The kick finds Kenny Edwards. Manages to get the ball away brilliantly, and it's kicked on by Holmes.
Again, that's a good play.
And again, they're making it up. Well, I'm going to phrase it better. They're reacting to what's in front of them. Yeah, they're reacting to what's in front of them. It's a sloppy kick, and I thought when they were chasing the kick, the Huddersfield Giants kick-chase team were offside. Well, they don't wait for the referee's whistle. It's a lovely kick and an even better chase.
I think that was the big challenge for Tom Holmes when he comes in. Take off from Lee Gaskell. He has to manage the game, doesn't he? He has to manage that edge, and that's a clever kick from him. And good pressure.
Not content just to kick the ball, Tom Holmes immediately followed that up, and that's forced this goal line dropout, and so Adam Warren can carry the ball in for back-to-back sets of 6 for the Huddersfield Giants against the 12 men, remember, of Warrington Wolves. News from Jenna Brooks on the touchline. Matty English, unsurprisingly, has failed his head injury assessment. He will not be playing any further part this evening. Here is Akuma Tai, the Huddersfield try scorer. Gives it to Golding. Ratchford in there alongside Hughes with the tackle for Warrington. Caesar. For the space, Marmo will just see that ball out.
I'm not sure whether Kenny Edwards again was just in front of the kicker there. That's the reason he didn't follow that up, whether the referee called him offside or not. Just a matter of inches, a little bit more discipline on aspects of that kick chase, or aspects all over the field in those key areas.
Ratchford gives it to Lynham into the tackle of Lawrence. There's the fullback once more, just trying to feint his way almost past the tackle of Cudjoe. Cooper. Hill offloads in the tackle for Austin. Go back to that left-hand side with Widder. The runner is Ben Curry. Just 30 metres away from that Huddersfield line. Hughes. It's Austin who drops the ball, and O'Brien is the liveliest to get there, pick up possession for his side.
And then does he stick his boot out as well? Austin.
I've got it. Well, the touch judge wants to communicate with his referee.
Look at this, he drops
goes behind him.
O'Brien picks it up, trips him up.
He backs into him, man. Yeah. He's not looking at him, he's got his back towards him, and he's going to the sin bin.
Blake Austin, the second Warrington player, follows Ben Murdoch-Masila into the sin bin. Lack of composure, really, from the 29-year-old, all the experience in the world, twice a Great Britain international, named in the dream team last year, a senior player in this Warrington side.
The key players as well that Warrington are losing. You've got one in the forwards who spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. Now you take off one of your playmakers, one of the ones who is a lethal player, causes so many defensive lines problems with his running games. Got a massive left foot step and right foot step.
He looks unhappy at the minute, doesn't he, Blake Austin? A frustrated couple of involvements. Here's the Huddersfield Jack. Well, some are happy, some aren't. The dog, a little bit more enthusiasm. I wonder what breed that dog is. Is it Viarami? Viarami?
A what?
Viarama. We're laughing at. I think it is. Yeah, blank expression. Anyway.
O'Brien for Huddersfield. Here is Lawrence. Adam Warren. Lawrence again with a good carry for the Giants. They are shading this one at the moment, and some frustration, as we said, for Warrington. Holmes gets the ball away for Wardle. Holmes. There's 4. Tackle initially for Warrington, and Hill among them. The tangy it was, taken to ground, and the kick from Edwards will test Ratchford. Got the chase as well. Wardle in there, McIntosh in there, Holmes as well. Tough meters these for Warrington just now.
It's really committed from Huddersfield. You know, the reaction to the kick, to get up and defend really hard. See players trying to get those numbers in as the outside backs try and get some speed. Here's Philbin.
We'll give the Wolves some impetus from the bench. Joe Philbin.
Oh, he's old school, Joe Philbin. Just tucks the ball under his wing and runs as hard as he can.
25 years of age now, twice a Great Britain international. 4 appearances for Ireland as well. Kick from Widdop, and again it's McGilvray has to run towards the ball, and it's come back for Widdop. Ben Murdoch-Masila back out there. Great hands from Widdop. Marmo, weaving run. Still the last tackle. Marmo's going to chase his own kick, looking for a try against his former employers, and Golding has all the commitment to kick the ball dead.
Well, he's got good speed, hasn't he, Jet Marmo? And he sees himself as a centre. Doesn't want to be playing out on the wing. Comes in, look at him. He's looking over his shoulder, seeing who's with him on his left. Nobody's there, so he tips the ball over, puts some pressure on the back of Huddersfield and Ash Golding. Gets a decent kick away. And for both of these sides, like I said before, it's all about building pressure.
Well, that's the second time Warrington Wolves have kicked it high, but it's probably gone only 50 metres forward. Warrington, through Charlie, try and keep the ball in field. They lose metres while they're doing it.
Got the ball out quickly though to the left-hand side, where Widdop is trying to weave some magic. O'Brien and Lawrence combine. Him to ground. Here is Darrell Clark. Danger man in this Warrington side. Feeds Philbin. Hughes drops the ball off for Ben Murdoch-Masila.
That's his pet play, isn't it? A drop-off running back across the play of the ball.
And Darrell Clark so lively for that half-back position. As Marmo lost the ball there. It's a Warrington penalty. Wardle shakes his head.
Well, they'll be hoping that they get a couple of calls that go through them. From down here now, you can see Jack Hughes calling for the ball. They just want to open the game up as quick as they can. Move this Huddersfield side around.
Big test for the Giants defence coming up as Cooper takes the ball in first up for Warrington. Just 5 metres away from the line. Darrell Clark. Looked as if there was something on for the hooker there, and he's come back the other way, and Ratchford has it now. Warrington lost their way a little there on that play as Philbin will play it. The pressure there from Wall. Widdop. There's a hand in there from McGilvray to rob it, wrest the ball away from Toby King.
Well, he pulls the trigger, doesn't he, Jermaine McGilvray, and shoots in, closes the play down. Unfortunately, from that good defensive read, they make a mistake the next play. Jermaine McGilvray, he really does work hard on his game, forces that mistake, and they make an error which puts them under some pressure. You see Akumatai, look at him, All he's got to do is really pick the ball up, and if he's going to scoot the ball, he's got to make sure that he's got it before he goes.
Held his hand up to acknowledge the error at Kumatai. His try gives Huddersfield this 6-2 lead. Philbin first up for Warrington. Darryl Clark, Widdop, Curry. Always looking for that offload. It's Kumatai who prevents that. It's Darryl Clark looks for the line. Kumatai in there once more, had to be as well, but it's another Warrington penalty.
Yeah, he did have to be in there, Ben, but he didn't have to give a penalty away. He cops him high. Again, it's more pressure for Huddersfield. They've got some good attacking shape either side of the ruck when they set up in centre field. Your key to it is where Stefan Ratchford is.
At the moment, he's drifting to that Warrington left-hand side. Philbin almost finding the line. Golding with an important contribution in defence there for Huddersfield. Here is Widdop.
Good line speed from the Giants. Cut the options off.
Toby King. Curry now. Cooper. Wrapped up by 2. Widdop puts boot to ball. It's a really nice kick, and Ben Curry is at the end of it. Ben Curry touches the ball down, and there's no recourse to the video referee either. Great kick, great try from Ben Curry. Warrington level kick to come.
Well, this is all about pressure, isn't it? Warrington Wolves, 2 or 3 sets on the bounce, and the Huddersfield Giants trying to conserve that energy, gave a few penalties away. It was a penalty from Kumatai. High shot on Darryl Clark. Darryl Clark jumping out from acting halfback. We'll see that a little bit more throughout the game. But what a beautiful kick there. Knows where he wants it to be in a committed chase from Ben Curry.
I think pre-COVID, Ben Curry was probably Warrington's best player. Very consistent, isn't he? Warrington fans loving it. Wolfie loving it in the top left corner.
Something for Warrington to smile about at last. 2 men already in the sin bin earlier in the game. And now Curry, crossed in a 50-19 defeat of the Giants 16 months ago. 6-all at the moment. And Ratchford had his second successful kick of the evening. Trying 5 goals in the big win over Hull Kingston Rovers last weekend. Stefan Ratchford. And 2 more points. Put Warrington back in front.
Ben Curry scores the try. Then you got the controlled kick from Gareth Widdop. Likes to play to that structure that man will set in. And look at the other halfback in Blake Austin, who's a fabulous player who likes to attack. And then when you've got edge plays, the likes of Ben Curry and Jack Hughes, they really do punch some decent holes into the tight 3. Go for a short kick-off here. Clever kick. Unfortunately, he's lost it, Holmes.
Great thinking from Tom Holmes. He just couldn't collect his own kick under that pressure from Warrington.
Nice, Ben. Mix it up. Mix the kicks up. Tom Holmes does that. Conceded some points. Wants the ball back in Warrington's half.
He isn't far off, is he?
No. Everyone expects on kickoffs that it's going to go to the back line and the prop's going to carry the ball forward, but make the opposition think.
Saw Hull Kingston Rovers do something similar last weekend. Tom Holmes taking a leaf out of Tony Smith's book there. Unlucky not to be the beneficiary of his own creativity there. Here is Warrington in possession. Big ramping up from Philbin as usual. Really gives them some impetus from the bench as Ratchford now. There's 3 Huddersfield defenders for company.
Has he lost that ball? I think there was 4 defenders in there. That's the respect that he commands, Steph Ratchford, when he's carrying the ball. But as they're all peeling off in sequence, well, he just can't keep hold of that ball, Steph Ratchford.
They're getting up really quick on the edges, Huddersfield, and they're forcing Stephen Ratchford back to run back to centre field. And the men that he's running back in the centre field are those bigger men who are nice and tight. Blair Costin, they're coming back onto the field in a minute.
Darnell McIntosh, lit up heading a week ago. It's been kept quiet so far by this Warrington defence as the ball comes free from McGilvray. It's a Huddersfield penalty. Philbin in there for Warrington.
The intensity when he carries the ball means that, again, defenders have to account for Jermaine McGilvray. They're trying to clamp him, they're trying to get him in a clinch. They keep hold of the ball, thinking that Jermaine McGilvray will be more concerned with keeping hold of the ball than playing it quickly. And then when it comes loose, the referee doesn't like it, blows his whistle. More possession for the Giants.
Philbin in defence for Warrington. That was Holmes, Caesar, Kumatai looking for a double now. Just 11 metres away.
Will they go to Edwards now? Kumatai, it looks like he's picked up an injury. It looks like when they're in good ball, good position, they're looking at attacking Warrington's line. They'll hit one back rower, then they'll go from that scrum line to the other scrum line and hit the other back rower. And you can see legs, knees, all trying to get the big fella down.
Simon Wolford will not be wanting to lose a Kumatai. Obviously, no Matty English coming back onto the field. You don't want to lose another big man. You can see he's worried. The strike that he has got over on the right-hand side of Kumatai, we saw that when he picked his line and scored the opening try. When he run over Gareth Widdop, he's a real difficult man to handle because he'll play that tough, aggressive line. He's also got really good lateral movement, late footwork at the line, holds onto the ball with the offload in the collision, causes some problems out wide.
The pain on the face of a Kumatai mirrored by his coach Simon Wolford. Already lost Matty English. Had played 33 games straight before he missed the cup defeat to Toronto, Tongan international.
It looks like they're going to take a look at him, doesn't it? Matangi, he's up off the bench. I think it's Darryl Clark who's round about the ankle area. It goes.
It just gets caught under Clark, doesn't it?
Yeah, nothing. I don't think any malice in what Darryl Clark's trying to do. The old adage when we were all kids coming through, knock his knees together, hit him round the legs and bring him down, and he ended up around that bottom knee ankle area, and he's come off worse, the big fella.
Problems mounting for Simon Wolford. Tangi back on for the Giants.
That's nice work.
Hewitt it was who got the Giants to within 3 or 4 metres, and O'Brien's so dangerous from that sort of range. Darryl Clark doing the job on his opposite number, but going to try again here. Hewitt once more, so close. Last one, last chance for the Giants. Caesar measures the options, measures the kick, and Ratchford, calmness personified.
Well, good positioning at the back from Stephen Ratchford. Did really well to say that. Hewitt comes up with a decent shot. He's got good footwork as well, Hewitt. We've already saw that in a couple of runs that he's made. Again, he's involved. Trying to restrict the meters here from Warrington. Look how nice and tight they are. Getting off the line with some real decent intent.
Inside the last 10 minutes first half, Clark for Warrington.
They need a good kick here, don't they, Warrington Wolves?
Only made 30 metres in that set as it comes back for Austin, who puts that kick in. It's high. It's a tester for Golding. It was a bobble, but he came up with it. Toby King immediately in his face for the Wolves.
Kicking game's been good from Warrington. They've not been kicking it and dropping it on the heads of the wingers or the fullback in Golding. What they have done, they've kicked it into space, making Huddersfield run for it. But putting them in two minds. But it does leave you a little bit short on the territory front. You can see Huddersfield Giants just over the halfway now.
O'Brien finds Matangi. Good metres after contact there. Curry with the tackle. O'Brien for Lawrence. Oh, great ball from Aiden Caesar. Cudjoe is away. Cudjoe has support on the outside. Oh. And McGilvray can't take the pass.
Well, that's a quality player that's just a little bit rusty there. He glides into the gap, doesn't he? Beautiful timing of the run, beautiful timing of the pass. And when he has the fullback to beat, he'll do this in his sleep when he's not fresh from what we said, 14 months being out injured.
Well, the Huddersfield fans thought that they were going to score a try, and then all of a sudden, one of those young players at Moll Green that Leroy Cudjoe coaches will be teaching him how to do a 2-on-1 next time they're in training.
Let off for Warrington then. Toby King. Cudjoe among the Huddersfield tacklers. Clark. Philbin. Hewitt and Matangi combining defence for the Giants. Hughes, great pass at the line. Widder wrapped up though by Caesar. Still manages to get the ball away though, and Hughes is free to carry on. Cut down by Hewitt and Lawrence. Right foot kick from Widder on the last. Golding is under pressure. Play on, says Ben Thaler.
Still last tackle though, Ben. Somebody needs to kick it. It's a short kick again.
To Widder. Yeah, it's a high kick. Attempted to be batted back there by Jake Marmo, but it's Wardle who emerges with possession for Huddersfield, and it's still going.
He's got a really composed head on Young's shoulders, hasn't he? He assesses that really well, cuts back inside. A lot more to come from that player.
And him. That's a good combination, isn't it, with Wardle and McIntosh over on the left for Huddersfield.
Switch it to the right for now. Jake Wardle, just 21 years of age, played 6 of the opening 7. O'Brien. Caesar. Wardle. His second involvement. Dragged to the ground by Marmo. O'Brien. Holmes. O'Brien. Golding puts the kick in. And it's Warrington who emerge with possession. We can go downstairs to Jenna again. News on Akumatai, Jenna.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, Akumatai we saw roll his ankle a few minutes ago. He limped off. It's unlikely he'll return.
Huddersfield doing it tough then. Lost Matty English, and this is how Akumatai has developed that injury.
15 players to rotate now. Sorry, Ben, 15 players to rotate. The back end of this game will really test the condition of the Giants players.
Just 35 minutes gone. King. Cut down by Cudjoe and Lawrence. Clark. Kick on the last from Austin, was under pressure, he's got it high again. McIntosh will jump for this. McIntosh will collect brilliantly.
Well, he's a player, isn't he, Daniel McIntosh? And when he goes up, there's a bit of a bubble. He regathers, looks to try and beat Warrington defenders. They can't do it. Now, if you're Warrington and you realise that Huddersfield have lost a couple of big middlemen, you would look to play them in the middle of the field. Really take the game to them so they don't have any punch Not giving this man anything to play off, Adam O'Brien. Again, another high shot here on O'Brien.
It's Aquala. He put a big challenge in on Jermaine McGilvray, then chased hard from Marker. Just comes over the top.
I think he's a very underrated player. I mean, he's got no regard for his body.
Adam O'Brien, I agree with you, Tez. Very brave, courageous player.
Let's sort him out. Go!
Doesn't mind.
Yeah, come in, mate.
Doesn't mind taking one, does it? If it benefits his side.
All right, Jack, wait. Sorry, mate. Time is off.
I also think he makes the most of that, by the way, but...
Mate, we've had, generally...
There's contact.
For instance, foul play.
There's a
everything else
jolt.
generally is good, they're working. Yeah. Just have a word here, lads. Yeah, they've got to work slower.
And the referee thinks it's a little bit sloppy, a little bit too much. And he wants Jack Hughes to just have a word with his players.
Back on, stay behind, boys.
Already lost Ben Murdoch-Masila to the sin bin. And Blake Austin. Aquala stays on.
That's what you get from Aquala. There's no 50% in his game.
Back involved already again. This is Aleki Aquala. Lawrence. Caesar. Kenny Edwards, brilliant pass. Holmes. Golding. Can he get the ball away? Look at the effort from Curry. To wrap the ball up, put the pressure on. Plenty of tackles in the bank, though, for Huddersfield. Just 8 metres or so away from that Warrington line. And Caesar looking for it. Hughes with an important tackle. Action stations for Warrington. O'Brien. To go round. Can't get under the tackle of Ratchford. Curry in there as well. Matangi. That was Holmes over the top. Great step from Wardle. Almost through Austin. And just wheeled around by Ben Murdoch-Masila in the nick of time.
Offside.
We get another set of 6 here. Blake Austin's the man who's caught offside. The ball comes over to young Jake Wardle, and you can see Austin is trying to get up and stop that play and stop the ball from getting out wide to Wardle.
Vital defence on show from Blake Austin.
And go for 2 points here, Aidan Caesar. Just over 2 minutes to go before half-time.
There hasn't been that many line breaks in this match, only 2-1 in favour of the Huddersfield Giants, so it's no surprise that they've gone for the 2 points on offer. A couple of minutes to go to half-time. They'll want some instruction from the coaches. Huddersfield probably more disrupted than the Wolves at this point.
2 minutes to the half-time break. 2 points that would lock this one up at the interval. No mistake from Aidan Caesar. Huddersfield 8, Warrington 8.
Well, Ben Murdoch-Masila, he manages to get hold of Jake Wardle here. And this youngster, he can step off his left and his right, gets into his stride very quickly. But Ben Murdoch-Masila, look, as he's going to try and ground the ball, he just manhandles him and throws him back in the field of play.
What do both these two have left in this last minute? Frustration from Steve Price.
Time's off. Need a ball, guys.
Flying going into this one, looking to extend a 3-match winning run. They've scored 15 tries and conceded just 4, just Warrington.
Well, there you go. There was no ball. The referee called for a ball, and then there was 2 on the pitch.
Eventually, Stefan Ratchford will kick off following that Aidan Caesar penalty. McIntosh. Matangi. Golding.
Sam Hewitt again backing into the Warrington defence. They'll be looking to get to the kick here. Huddersfield won't want to make a mistake just before half-time. All nice low-risk plays from the Giants.
Golding rocked back by Curry. O'Brien, Caesar, Edwards. Taken by Austin. Pressure on Caesar there. Rashford.
That's a good chase as well. Just leading up to half-time, you see Aiden Caesar. I think he was trying to pinch the ball from Stefan Rashford.
Lynham plays it. Widdop looking for Toby King, taken by McGilvray. McGilvray has it back, and Golding is the late drama. The end of this first half. That's the last action. Sam Wood is wrapped up in possession, and we're no nearer to knowing at half-time who will join Catalan and Wigan at the top of the Super League table.